One shot. Let's begin. My Isekai essay by Bucket. Um, wait, what? Mizukami, Satoshi, and Bucket. Okay. These are the authors, but the essay is actually called By Bucket. A biographical story about the struggles of being in an unfamiliar world without any special abilities or superpowers, illustrated by Mizukami on behalf of his friend Bucket. Oh, this is going to be an interesting take on Isekai. Okay, I'm here for it. So just a slice of life done through Isekai. Hmm. As I recall, it was around November 2015. I was coming back from drinking with this magazine staff and stopped at a vending machine. Ah! My change! And when I went after it, a truck appeared. From his perspective, I was probably the one who came out of nowhere, though. It's a difficult sensation to put into words. It wasn't the pain so much that sticks with me, but this feeling that my body had flown off and left me behind. Me, body. Something like that. I thought, no way I survived that. And I was right. I didn't. I came to staring at an unfamiliar ceiling. This can't be the hospital, so where the hell am I? Oh, X triangle, box, box, box. And she doesn't look much like a nurse. She's definitely not speaking Japanese, and not English either. Whoa there, huh? What the what? Now obviously this was all very confusing, and I could go on a great length about my mental during the whole mess, but I'll sum it up. I think it took me about 3 years to fully grasp the situation. I imagine you're thinking I really should have caught on sooner, but bear with me. First, I had to come with terms to the shock of apparently being reincarnated, and I thought maybe I just wound up in some foreign country. But now, I'm pretty sure we're not in Kansas anymore. Two moon looking things the sky. Good, good, good reference. Howdy, Bucket. How's it hanging? He can understand the language now. Good, thanks. It's still hard to pronounce right. The dog person is one of my neighbors. Apparently, some people catch a disease that changes them like that. It spooked me good the first time I saw it. It really drove home this wasn't the world I knew. Despite being a disease, you don't really see any discrimination surrounding the condition. Awful magnanimous of them? Later I found out there's people with the condition in the royal family, so Tiki Dix said anyone for it wasn't really acceptable. Now I liked all those reincarnation stories in anime and light novels and stuff, but it turns out it actually pretty much sucks. Don't go too far off now. For instance, I have to listen to Dad, who's younger than me. Okay. Of course, and maybe worst of all, for a modern man, there's no flush toilet. You just go on the sand, it stinks like hell. No showers either. Tub of well water and a roughy, scratchy towel. And of course, no climate control to abate the harsh elements. Hot in the sun and cold in the shade. For years, the only thing on my mind was wanting to go back to my own world. Is it good? Tasteless gruel. Spice and flavoring are luxury items. Uh-huh. Lie. How the hell are these light novel protagonists so into this crap? You gonna tell me they had indoor plumbing? I finally gave up when I was around 6. Look, see, Bucket? This is you. Wow. When one of the neighborhood girls got a mirror and showed me my face, I was heartbroken. The bucket is just artistic license. The reflection actually showed some blonde kid who looked sort of like the old me, but not too much. There was no going back to my life now. Even if I found a way home, no one would know me. I barely got out of bed for a while after that. Bucket, I made your favorite porridge. Not hungry. Eventually, Dad must have decided enough was enough and wanted to cheer me up. Want to go up to the flying mountain? Huh? You can go there? Up there? Sure. In a world without rail or airplanes, any trip could take at least a few weeks. It was expensive and far from safe. Wait for me. Catching a lift in the covered wagon. Passengers pay a share of the guard costs in addition to the wagon rate. When I think about it now, they really pulled out all the stops for me. The mountain was closer than I thought, but it still took 3 days. These chairs don't look like they were made with this world's technology. They have balloons, though. Go up the hot air balloon and use the rope. Oh, that's cool. Whoa, this is really high. Looking out from the viewing platform, I started crying freely. What's the matter, Bucket? Why is Bucket crying? Probably because it's so pretty. Sorry about the art. The memory's a little hazy. and I'm not much of a landscape artist. It was less to do with the view and more to do with my frustrations at my uselessness. I'm not capable of making a life for myself in this world, and for all my contemporary knowledge, I couldn't remember anything I could actually put to use. I get even more depressed when I realize how little I actually knew. And of course, I don't have any superpowers like they get in the animes. Here in this world, I have absolutely nothing. Nothing at all. Nothing at all. Look, Bucket, they have mountain shaped cookies. Yay! Cookies! They're too expensive. It'll be a special treat. Hmm? That's when it came to me. I can still draw! Some artistic license taken. I can draw! Still being taken. I was never among the best in the business of Japan. That was fun, wasn't it? But here, there can't be many 12 that have 12 years of experience as a professional illustrator. Just the cost of paper is enough of a barrier, and being so young can work in my favor here. When we got back to the village, I borrowed a slate from the village head and showed off my art skills. Also, a fairly pricey item, by the way. Whoa! Eventually, the village got together and pooled their money so I could go to an arts academy in the city. Long story short, I can't thank them enough. The majority of students were going to the nobility and upper class types, so the villagers all warned me they'd probably look down on me for coming from a poor town. But I didn't really see much of that. The idle rich are pretty chilled out. All the punks and bullies back in the village were way worse, to be honest. Anyway, for 3 whole years, I drew, and drew some more. I did it! In your face, all you fantasy protagonist kids. This man still has modern art techniques on his side. Congratulations. Age 50, technically. You were the finest student, but at least you can draw. You weren't the finest student, but at least you could draw. So here you go. Thank you so much, sir. They had us do surprisingly high-level math, so it wasn't exactly easy. Word, Mr. Bucket. You were relatively skilled from the start, but I'm afraid you didn't grow much as an artist. However, you were pretty good at tutoring your classmates. How'd you like to stay on as a teacher? I'll do it! That was my plan all along. Now I could finally stand on my own 2 feet again. You'll probably go back home to help father's work. I'm going to enlist in the Knights Military Academy. I want to be a civil engineer. Not a lot of the other students plan to do art for a living. I became the school's youngest art instructor and steadily rose in the administration. I illustrated circles for the school with cutesy modern-style comic characters, which proved to be wildly popular with noble children, and the enrollment rate skyrocketed. Look, is that Professor Bucket? The one who drew the ad? It's my pleasure to welcome you all to our academy. As years went by the head, Master's wife added more and more jewelry. Ho, ho, ho. Naturally, my salary also grew. Yes, yes. So what if I can't invent electricity? As long as I can draw, I can still write my ticket. Art was my secret weapon all along. The honeymoon lasted about 4 years. Any interest in my comic art was obliterated by a new rising star instructor's masterful paintings. Some people are just better at art than me. I still like your art unrefined style too, Mr. Bucket. Unrefined, she calls it. Miss Shantae. I married a merchant's daughter who also taught at the school. They throw these grape-looking fruits at weddings. Nobody knows the reason why. I moved this along pretty quickly, but now you've seen the story so far. This should bring you up to speed with where my life's at right now. I was really worried about finding some way to support myself, but with that taken care of, things aren't too bad. There's a certain peace in rustic living that you won't find in modern Tokyo in the information age. Can you run an errand for me? Sure thing. Is he gonna get hit by a car? I've gotten used to living here. Home is where you hang your hat, like they say. I'm at the point where traveling merchants hit me with some unfamiliar body language. It throws me for a loop now. It's usually just a greeting now. Good day to you. Hi. For you, my friend. If you tuck this talisman under your pillow, you'll see your past lives. It's bona fide magic. It was supposed to go home to some high-faulted noble, but they suffer from a lack of faith in magic. Their loss is your gain. I doubt I could afford anything as fancy as real magic. I'll cut you a great deal. You'd be getting it for a song. I assumed there was no such thing as magic like that here in this world, but that wasn't quite right. The problem is, it's illegal in this country, and there's not much literature on the topic, so for most people, it may as well not exist. There are still enchanted items that from long ago, and those are permitted under law. But even something on the lines of a simple light could cost as much as a good strong carriage, so it's far beyond any average person's means. Best to think of them as an investment, like fine art. I'm telling you, it's a steal. Who would possibly fall for such a fishy deal for that cheap knickknack? Now I've done it. Hey, hey, how much did you pay for that? I'm talking to you. It's fine. It wasn't that much. Oh, really? How much then? Looks like a scrap of wood with a chintzy little doodle. I had a weird dream last night. I was back at Japan at the pub I used to go to all the time with one of my artist friends. And then I made it here. Neat story. Maybe it would make a good manga. I was telling about what it's like to be reincarnated. Once I finish drawing it, I'll bring it back here. See ya. Sure, I'll show it to my guide editorial. Make sure it's Japanese, though. Yeah. Whoop! And then that's when I woke up. It wasn't exactly what I expected, but I guess that counts as seeing my past life. The end. Afterward, I found myself wanting to draw a manga for the first time in a while, so I went ahead and did it. I'll probably try putting my roughs under my pillow together with that magic charm tonight. Hopefully I can go to the same dream. I'll probably never know if this runs or not, so I'll say as a word in advance. Thank you Satoshi, Mizukami, and the editorial staff. It's all my friends. I just want to say I'm doing fine over here in this world, so don't worry. If any of you see this, that is, and if you're reading the manuscript, did you also reincarnate from Japan? I've written directions where I hid the magic charm on the back. It's yours if you want it. Mizukami Corner. I think I can give myself this much, right? Even if I had to step it in to draw it to the end, they ran it. In my youth, I once went on a journey, a very, very long journey. Mizukami Satoshi presents an eagerly awaited new series, Sorte, the Traveler. Oh man, oh man. Let me see this first before I say my opinion of this series. Sorte the Traveler. Is this a real thing? I just googled it. Mizukami Satoshi, Japanese manga artist. Okay, let's check his stuff here. Sorte the Traveler. This is to be in 2020. Did he publish, I think, in 2020? World's End Sote. Okay, that's probably close enough, right? I'm going to Google that because that's Sote. Or Sahite no Soroto. It's still going. Series World End Sote. Alright, let me see if this is... Okay, now it's taking me to one of those questionable websites. World End Sote. Here, let me put this here. How do I do this? Well, let me actually check here. I don't like the story. I'm just gonna be flat out. I just find this a little... Oh, here it is. Sote the Traveler. Okay, that makes sense. I feel really bad about this here. Like, this looks so much better here. Look at this. I just found the Isekai kind of boring, to be honest. Like, it wasn't like, you know, with other series, I find them like, hey, this is, you know, it's bad because they do this, that, or it's edgy, or this story could have been improved in this aspect here, or it could have been better here or there. And then for this one, I was just kind of bored, you know? That's like kind of the worst things I could say. I think that might be the first thing time I've ever said this, you know? I like tried, but like this is just a little mundane for me. I didn't really feel like much was... I don't know. I didn't really feel like there was anything. Because I was ready for some interesting isekai stuff. I know it's supposed to be a mundane isekai, but this was overtly mundane. And I was like, oh, okay. But, yeah, I don't know. I thought it would have been led somewhere decently cool. Like, the bucket hat is an interesting choice, sure. But, I don't know. Like, I think this is gonna be a thing, but I feel like it's excessively detailed, right? Like, okay, we got this, sure, a truck appears. But then one of these small things that a lot of these things get, which I don't like, is that it goes flying mountain, two moons looking in the sky. You don't need to have those. H3 can understand the language now, sure. So hard to pronounce, sure. Later upon the people of the Kurdish royal family, that wasn't necessarily needed. Reading on the train, okay, great. I could see it's reading on the train. Is it good? Uh-huh, lie, right? Like this one here, you didn't necessarily need that too much. Lie. The bucket is the artistic license. You didn't need that. I could tell. There. Okay, I didn't need that either. Anchor with giant chain to keep from floating off. You go up in an air balloon, right? This is kind of cool. This one might be necessary, but no, you can do that. Wow, this is really high. I got even more depressed when I realized how little I actually knew. This is kind of funny. I'll give them that one here. Boom, still be taking clatter. Back to reality. The carrot shakes a lot. Long story short, but it's some hero guy I've never heard of. High level math, right? Like this is the stuff like ho 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 ho. Like I I don't know. I just didn't care for this. It's a little boring. The art, I don't mind the fact it's minimalistic too much. I think there's a little bit of potential charm, but it doesn't pop is another thing here. And you know, I think I'm just gonna be too harsh on this one. Because like look, okay, I know it's supposed to be a little bit ditzier here, like and this art is fine, but like board, incomplete face, right? And I get that, and then of course the buffness kind of stands out for artistic liberation. And the simplicity I know is supposed to add to the charm, but like the backgrounds are well done. I could say that. I think the world fits with each other, but there's so much that's kind of lacking here. Like, why does this guy not have a face? I feel like with other one-shots, you do have a reason for all this stuff here, but I don't know. I don't know. I'm just not a very, very big fan of this one, unfortunately. Because nothing really happened. And then he's like, yeah, I'm not even sure it's going to be published here. So much so that he does the thinking within the manga, right? I don't know, man. I feel bad. Because this is... I just called it boring. And that's probably one of the worst things you could call something, right? Is it the collection of anthology? Oh, here we go. We could do more of this guy's one-shots. Wait, what? There's 30 of these here? Hey, this might be the next new series here. As long as this isn't here, I think this could be read in a separate thing here. Okay, what's with all this stuff here? I might have to double check any of this here before I do any of this. Okay, but maybe this would be... Oh, does he... Okay. I'm just trying to see if there's that annoying little habit he has. I don't know, we'll see. This guy has a lot of one-shots, it seems like, here. But, like, I don't know if I really want to read them, honestly. And I know this is, like, really, really bad for this year, because you know, like, this would be perfect for what I'm looking for. It's like, oh, hey, you found a collection of one-shots of one particular artist. You've been wanting to do a series for a very, very long time here. But then you're like, I don't know if it's going to be boring either, you know? I don't know. I think we'll just call it even at this point, because I don't know what this thing. And I feel like I'm being mean. It's not reflective of his other work for sure. You know, like I assume that these are fine here. I'm just kind of rambling here. Let me end it here. With all that being said, like, comment, subscribe, and thank you for being born, y'all. Peace out.